So the newest round of Jupe voting just started yesterday. So there's going to be 3 different trials for different working groups that are going to be either getting passed or not through the DAO. We're going to be going over all the different details of all the 3 different votes, giving you guys all the information so you can make the most educated vote for this round. If you guys don't know about Jupiter, the voting, and all the incentives that you can get for it, I would highly recommend checking out my video that I made a couple months back. I posted it on YouTube and on Twitter. It goes over everything, all of the basics, and it'll catch you up to everything you need to know before watching this video if you aren't already informed. Yeah, so the beginning of the Catdet Working Group is basically, as their own words, a strategic plan to enhance culture within Jupiter community by empowering cats, crucial agents in cultivating an environment where people can learn, grow, and co-create. They just say Catdet Corps. I assume they just mean cats, which means members, active members of the Jupiter community is basically what that means. You can see they mentioned in their proposal on Jupe Research that they don't believe in creating solutions to problems that don't exist. So they're here to problem solve, and they believe in leveraging strengths and synergies across different groups to maximally achieve any aim. Right. So they want to leverage and get as much as they can out of skilled cats, skilled members of the Jupiter community, and leverage those skills as much as possible. The Catdet Working Group will work closely with the core working group, the team, and other working groups to achieve our mission and help them achieve theirs so that together Jupe can move forward towards the meta. So for me, this was pretty confusing and vague at first. I didn't really understand exactly what the working group was and what its purpose was. So I spent some time in the Discord, and Cass, one of the members of the Cadet Working Group, answered my questions. So here's his summary. He said, everything we do is an experiment to see what the community thinks and if it's helpful. They have some visions like event planning, podcasts, weekly updates, a place for cadets to get their own funding for useful ideas that are community oriented. So tons of different ideas. What I got from this is basically the working group is going to be a community of people for members of the Jupe ecosystem to go to for help, for maybe funding, support, and just overall networking. They can be kind of that central point for a lot of smaller proposals and smaller things that are going to happen in the Jupe ecosystem, because there's a lot of things that need to get pushed forward. There's a lot of really good ideas, but they're not so big that they should be in the DAO. So that's what I think these guys are trying to do and facilitate. And the only thing they're setting in stone is that they're listening. They don't want to make any false promises or anything like that. So their ask is that they want a budget of 45,000 USDC for a 5-month trial period. So all of these working groups are going to be in trial periods of 3 to 6 months to see if they actually work before they get a full year's salary. So they want 45K USD for a 5-month period, which will be basically 1.8K per core contributor per month. So the total budget is 69,000 with 24,000 for the community incentives and 45,000 for compensation to the core contributors over a period of 5 months. All right, so the next one we're going to be going over is the Reddit working group. So basically what these guys want to do is create, a subreddit for Jupiter and have this whole group to curate everything that goes on it, make sure that it's they're posting a ton of informative articles. They're doing AMAs all the time and just having a bunch of community engagement. You can see some of their responsibilities is create and maintain a high quality subreddit on Jupiter. And one of them that I like here is track and analyze Reddit metrics to measure the effectiveness of the working group's efforts. So basically what that means is, they're going to be giving you data to seeing if giving these guys money and making this Jupiter subreddit is actually worth it, and how much, adoption we're going to be getting from it for new users. You can see listed as other ways they aim to do this, to achieve this, is through community building. They want to have some user recognition where they acknowledge and appreciate a bunch of contributions and people that are active in the space all the time, active in the Jupiter ecosystem, I should say. And like I said, they're going to be doing AMAs, events, and just making ways for people to be more educated on Jupiter, especially people that aren't already onboarded. So for their funding, it's going to be a 3-month trial period. They have an expense budget of 68,000 USD. That's going to be basically for the lead, $6,000 a month, and for the 4 moderators, it'll be $16,000 a month. So I broke that down. That's basically a $72,000 a year salary for the lead and $48,000 a year for each of the 4 moderators. And then they have, $2,000 overflow budget for miscellaneous expenses like graphic design, bot development, hosting, and stuff like that. And then last but not least, we have the web working group. So you can see some of the stuff that they plan to do here. First and foremost, and this is their main concern right now. They have a bunch of stuff they plan on doing, just putting Jupyter information and building Jupyter infrastructure, educational stuff over the internet. But first they want to do is fix the Jupyter Space Station website first. So what the Jupyter Space Station website is it's pretty much like an onboarding site. So if you go onto this, if you're going on Jupyter for the first time, you've never used it, you can go on Jupyter Space Station and you can see how to use the swap, limit order, DCA, perps, and then you can even learn about all the governance and other stuff like that. As well, it has like resources for developers and stuff. So it's just a huge educational resource for Jupyter. And the other project they promised to work on first and continue building up is jup.eco. It's kind of for more like current users of Jupyter, people that have already been using it. It goes more into like the town halls. It'll summarize the town halls. It goes into like the DAO and stuff like that. So definitely interesting seeing that we're going to have like a web working group just for all of these different websites. They have a bunch of other ideas they plan on implementing. Like one of the other cool ones that I like is the notifications. So if there's like iMessage or something, every time something happened on Jupyter, you could get a notification for it, as well as like a calendar, things like that. So they just have a vision for a bunch of these different like web applications that are going to help people use Jupyter, make it easier. And for funding, they're requesting $84,000 USD. And you can see for their budget, their funding, they made a nice little pie chart here for it. So over 3 months, they're going to have $56,000 in salaries, $10,000 to the contributors pool, $3,000 to infrastructure and development, and then $15,000 to retroactive compensation. So it's 3 separate budgets that altogether add up to $84,000. Most of it are obviously the salary budgets for these people that are going to be making all the tech for this. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to get your vote in. Even if you guys don't have an opinion, just abstain so you can get the Jup voting rewards. And definitely give me a follow or subscribe to my channel if you guys want to see more videos related to the Solana ecosystem and more specifically the Jupyter ecosystem. Take care.